Let's get to know the artist behind the epic melodies, songs, and beats. Celebrating the best new music from around the world. This is the A State of Trance podcast.
Hey, what's up? My name is Dylan Onder and welcome to a new A State of Trance podcast. And it doesn't happen a lot that I have two guests to talk to right now. So I have to divide my attention between you guys. AVAO are in the studio. How you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Davey, it's nice to have you once again. I think the last time you were here, we did 10 questions, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is a new concept, basically. We still have some fan questions, but in the meantime, we want to dive a little bit more into the history of AVAO.
Cool,
so I want to start with you, Stijn. What made you fall in love with dance music?
Well, I always played piano and my father played guitar. So that's how I get in touch with music.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get older, I started to make music in Fruity Loops.
But you were listening to dance music in the meantime already?
Yeah. I listen to house music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of music did you actually listen to?
Yeah.
What kind of artists?
I think it was Spinning Records.
Afrojack.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we started making music, you had this typical dirty Dutch sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So that's what. Okay, so, but I want to know, why did you start making music? Like, okay, you were making piano music already, and you're playing guitar maybe a little. But what sparked you that you were like, hey, I need to start making music as well?
I think that
like I can do this better or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But yeah, I liked it very much, so that's probably the reason I started it. Yeah.
So you just listen to music and you were like, okay, I want to find out how I do this as well.
Can do the similar thing. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Levi?
For me, it was my dad was a lot into music and he played the drums. So I started playing guitar and then I got into a band and made music that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I got sick of, when you have to do a show, you have to bring your amp and your guitar and everything.
Yeah.
And when you're a DJ, you just have to bring one USB stick and that's it. And when you make a track, so we make music and, you start with nothing. And at the end of the day, you have a file with the full track.
Yeah.
It's like this instant credit you have for what you just made. And that's what I love about making music. And it's just, you have like creative, like ideas in your mind, you're being creative. And I think putting all that into music, that is satisfying to me. So I think that's...
Did you work separately before started working with Stijn as well, like making music?
Yeah. I think I was maybe 1 year, maybe less than a year. And then Stijn was actually in the bar and we live close by. So, but I didn't know he was making music, but I saw him giving a CD to the DJ.
Very old school.
It was, I think it was a piano remix, right?
Yeah, Eric Preet's piano remix.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then I asked him like, hey, do you make music yourself? Like, let's maybe do something together. And that's kind of how it started. And from that moment on, we started making music quite often.
Yeah.
Did you already know each other before that? Or you just saw him handing a CD and you were like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What is he doing there?
Well, I saw he was flirting for a while with me. No, I think it was, we knew each other. We had like similar friends, but we were never friends before.
Yeah, because you are both from Castricum, right?
Castricum,
yeah. It's a beautiful place next to the beach in the Netherlands. I think if you fly into the Netherlands, you always fly past, you see like a beach places and then you see Castricum. So definitely a nice place to visit if you're ever here.
Yeah, if you're in Amsterdam, it's definitely worth seeing.
Amsterdam Beach is what they call it as well, just like Bloemendaal, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so you started working together. Well, tell us the first story. When you got into the studio, maybe for the first time together, did you sit down together or did you work separately? Or how did it go? So from the moment on that you saw him handing over a CD to the DJ.
Yeah, so I think the next Wednesday or something, we said like, hey, let's make music this day.
Yeah.
And then I remember we just always, when we make music, it's not one writes this, we always together in the studio.
Yeah.
And I remember the song we made and we thought it was actually a shit song. It doesn't sound good at all, but we thought it sounded so good. And then we said, if we were huge W&W fans. So we said, if they hear this right now, they would sign it immediately.
Like straight away, they would play it every single set.
Yeah. It took another 4 years before we ever got a sign on a small label.
Yeah.
But we had to believe that we had something cooking.
You have to begin somewhere.
So we were vibing in the studio. You were finding you had to, of course, both of you have musical background, so you already knew like how to create certain melodies, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest part to get to the point that you were good enough that you were actually signed? Well, in your head, you were already good enough. But
Well, I think the sound designing, in the beginning, it sounded really bad.
Yeah.
It took us a few years to, compared to other DJs.
Yeah, but it was also, we there was a lot of guys in trance like David Gravel, Marlo, Origin Nils, and Mark Sixman. We try to kind of do the same thing as them.
Yeah.
And we were not as good as producers as them, so we made the same stuff but then produced badly. Yeah. So it took us like a while for us to understand we need to create something that
our
sounds like different than anybody else. You don't want to copy people. You want to start something like...
Yeah, then the first release, correct me if I'm wrong, was actually on ARIA.
Yeah.
So that's the label of David Forbes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
So tell us, how did you get in touch with David Forbes and then you managed to get that sign? We talk about Rewind.
I think we sent an email. Yeah, Rewind.
Yeah.
And I don't know, to be honest. I think we sent an email with the track, and
I don't know. I don't even know where we got the email. We were just desperate to sign, and and he signed it. And I think the last A State of Trance we played after him. So we had a fun moment seeing each other on stage.
You should give him a call. I don't know if you can, if he still remembers that. Let's see.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I don't know if you can hear it here, but let's I don't know, just give it a try. We've never done this before.
But I also remember that you called me that we got an email that he signed our track, and I thought, okay, we're DJs now. We can drop everything. We're full on DJs. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
So I'm trying to call David Forbes right now on FaceTime. Let's see if it picks up. There he is. Hey, Davey. Hey, there he is. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So listen, I'm here in the studio with the guys from AVAO.
Yo, what's up, brother? How are you doing?
So it came up that the first track that they ever released and ever signed was on ARIA. That's your label.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about it. How did you? Do you still remember signing that tune?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, man. They sent me. Do you know that way when you get sent a demo and you just know start to finish, it's an absolute killer.
Yeah.
Production wise, and I was given these boys are going to be massive.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy. I remember we had a couple tracks with you, and then at some point you said you guys are going to be massive. You you need these kind of motivational words to keep going and keep.
So you were a big motivation to them.
100%.
I love your couch. I love your couch, Dave.
Still making a noise in the studio.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Well, thank you for just jumping on. This is for A State of Trance podcast, by the way. So you're in the podcast now. Steal some of those vinyls from me, okay? Bring them next time.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Talk to you soon. Yo, bye-bye. That's really cool. So he came on board for a second. So he already knew back then, and this is 2014, so that you guys would get to the level that you are right now.
That's 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Fuck.
So what happened in these 9 years now? So you started out with music on ARIA, a couple of singles, and then the first one that I saw on your Discogs page was actually one from 2016 on Lange Recordings, Inception.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you branched out, I think, outside of ARIA.
Yeah, that was the first. Yeah, I think it was the first time. Yeah, we signed 2 tracks to Lange Recordings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a few years.
Yeah, this is all a bit blurry to me.
You can't remember this. It's too long ago.
Yeah, and I think,
I'm going to dive deeper into your history, so prepare for that. Okay, so let's jump to the next big step, because that was a very important and monumental moment in your career that you signed your first track to Reaching Altitude, Prophecy.
Yeah, that was
2017.
Yeah.
Because then you started to work with Marlo, with Jeanette. Tell us, how did that come about? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, I remember that you can have like a limited amount of friends on your Facebook. And, I sent it to Marlo's personal Facebook, but he already limited out on his maximum friends.
Yeah.
So I just send it, and then you get in like not in the normal inbox, but the other one. So I sent it. I thought, it's not gonna, it's not gonna do anything. And then I got a message back, and he loved it, and he said he's gonna launch his own label, because this was before Reaching Altitude existed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing it everywhere. Then Armin played it. Then we sent a second track, Limitless. He also loved it, and then he also said, I'm gonna bring you guys to Australia. I'm gonna make you big, and and we just come back from tour with him. We played shows, his altitude shows in Australia, Malaysia. So the support we had from them, from Jeanette is Marlo's wife, and she organizes these parties.
Mm-hmm.
So the support we've had from them from the beginning of our career is incredible.
So Stijn, tell us a little bit about the relationship that you guys still have with Marlo.
Yeah, we talk to him quite often, and we go maybe two times a year to Australia to do a show, or separately or together.
Yeah,
It's Marlo is such a nice guy, and we have a good vibe with him.
Yeah, do you speak Dutch or English with him?
English, but he can speak Dutch.
Yeah, sometimes it's weird because when he's here, I kind of force him to talk Dutch.
Yeah.
And then it takes a little bit of time, and then he starts talking Dutch again. Also, when you're on tour with him, then sometimes and then when you text him, it's always in English, because I think texting for him is a little bit difficult. But when you talk with him, you have to do it in Dutch. Yeah. It's really funny, actually.
Yeah, but you know what it is with him? If you start talking Dutch and there's English speakers around, he will switch immediately to
which makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Because sometimes Dutch people in a group will start talking Dutch to each other, and other people are just like, "What the hell is going on?" Yeah. That's exactly the weird noises.
Yeah.
Also, a thing that I noticed, and I'm reaching far. So, from the beginning of your career until 2018, you guys are pretty much stuck on 132 BPM. So I'm reaching far right now. So what made you move? Because in 2018 you really jumped to 138. Like you went from 132, you stepped it up, and you started making harder music.
Maybe it was because of Vini Vici.
Yeah.
I think because they started becoming like big in psytrance, and I think we kind of gravitated towards that for a bit. I don't think it lasted so long.
Yeah, everything. I think for 2 years something was, except for the songs with Linny and with Jeanette.
Yeah,
those were like 134, like more poppy-ish, and then the rest was just hard.
Yeah,
138.
I think it was the Psy influence we felt in that moment, and I think it lasted for about 2 years maybe, and then we, now we don't care so much about BPM.
Yeah,
One
because
day
now
we make a track 125 and then 150.
So what I'm trying to insinuate with that is that do you guys always react on what's hot at the current moment, or do you try to stick out for your own sound? Do you try to create something for yourself rather? Because in the past, you were saying this earlier, this podcast, you can hear it on your early productions that you were trying to find the same vibe as WW, for example.
No, I think we, right now it's more we as bass we have our own sound, and then we put influences from other styles in it. And, for example, future rave is big now, but also the big techno is, it's popping up. So we also love that kind of music. So we put these into our songs, and at the end of the day, we don't really think about it. We just make music and see where it ends up. And
just
if you like the song,
what you like,
if you like the song, you like it.
So in the past, you were more concerned about what other people thought of your music, and right now you're just trying to set the bench pretty high for yourself. That's how you see it.
No, I wouldn't say that necessarily. I feel like, we just make music that we like. And at the end of the day, you hope it's going to be picked up, and, other DJs will play it and people listen to it on Spotify. But we don't have like a master plan behind it. Okay, today we're gonna.
You just get influence. You get influence from everywhere, and just make whatever you feel like making.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, in 2021 there was another big step. Then you signed your first record to Revealed.
Was Text Me, right?
Concentrate.
Concentrate. Oh, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you start to? Then you stepped away from the home of reaching altitude. You want to branch out and see what else is there, or?
Yeah, I think that I don't know the reason, but I think at Revealed there are other fans.
Yeah.
So I think it's also good to share your music there.
Yeah, you tap into different fan zones, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how did it feel like? Because now you have an exclusive deal, so it must have been like something massive happening.
I mean,
there.
Working together with Revealed is good. It's a great label. So they're kind of also switching to the more big room techno sound, and we kind of want to bring our the trancey influence into this, this whole movement, and they saw that as well, and they gave us the opportunity to, expand this. So we're kind of bringing the trance sound into. So we have the song with Giuseppe Ottaviano is like a proper trance record in my opinion.
Yeah,
and they love it. So it's like it's going to be released on Revealed. So we're just excited to explore this at Refield Recordings.
I think it's funny to see that all these genres are just coming together. It's just like a big mass of trance, techno. I don't know what it is anymore.
I mean, all these techno artists are kind of flirting so much with trance these days.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate genres. I feel like nowadays, which is a good thing.
I don't think we have to do that anymore.
No, definitely not.
Because like what you say with your set in the radio show, you started on 126, you end with 154, all within 25 minutes, and it still feels cohesive. So somehow you managed to find a good place in there as well. Of course, you released a couple of tunes with A State of Trance as well, Elemental and Stay Focused. Yeah. Is there anything more that we can expect soon on the label?
Yeah, so we have the new project XY. It's coming up on Our Mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's together with Hype and Bass Bears. It's called Storm, and we're very excited about this project. We have a lot of music lined up. So yeah, this is the first one that's coming out for the XY project. So it's going to be in Our Mind.
So why did you decide to call it XY, or why did you start it even? Like, because you already have AVAO, which is blowing up right now. Why do you branch out to a new alias once again? Is it just because you have too much music laying around?
Well, yeah, we make really fast music, and we had some lower BPM stuff laying around, and we wanted to do something with it.
Yeah.
So
it is. So we make music. We make a lot of music, and a bunch of music you make is for other DJs. But this is we love this style as well. So it kind of felt not good to sell these tracks or make for other people. And, we have enough music, so why not start a second act?
Well, I'm really happy to see that you make these kind of sounds as well, because it feels like a sort of, we don't have to pigeonhole it, like a big room melodic techno track or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something
it's something slow, but it's still for the dance floor. So
yeah.
I think you did a good job on that. So
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to what else is coming up from you guys, because the funny thing is that I'm a progressive trance DJ as well, or whatever. I've been playing Text Me every single set for the last year, I think.
Because I've seen it a lot. You tag us when you play it on, put it on your Instagram too. And I'm like, does it really match the rest of his set, or is it like?
Well, I do the same what you did in the Eastwood mix. Like I started slow, but it still fits the vibe and everything. It's such a massive, and especially when you played in Asia, then you see that you guys are so big over there. Because when I played Text Me in Malaysia, I think everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Everybody knew the track. I was like, holy shit.
We just played in Malaysia, and then you wake up the next day, you go through your Instagram messages, and they say the lyrics along, and they go crazy.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's what I saw in the crowd as well.
Yeah.
So more of those, please.
Yeah.
Send them over to me as well, so I can play them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for answering these questions. I have a bunch of questions that I want to go through that were submitted through Instagram. So let's start with the very first one. EF2 Civic wants to know, when are you going to bless us with a set in the US of A? When are you going to America?
It's tricky to get a visa, so we have to sort that, and then hopefully next year, because we're dying to go. For me, it's like for some reason I kind of like the USA. There's a lot of great places there, and food, and so I'm dying to go there, but it's just tricky with the visa. So we're working on it, and hopefully year.
Soon.
Okay, yeah, because I think like festival like Dream State, they really fit you well. So fingers crossed on that one. Alex24 Ivan wants to know, Amsterdam Dance Event's coming up in just a few weeks. Are you playing anywhere?
Yeah, we play at Refield Night.
Mm-hmm.
Together with
Hotwell, Maddox, all of the Refield guys, Dr. Funk, I think, is also playing there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also play on Sunday the Grimmix and Friends.
The what?
Grimmix and Friends.
Okay. Cool. Okay, let's see what happens there then. Let's see. Is there something that is not more techie, like take control or concentrate in the making? Ooh, that's a good question. Stefano Skyola wants to know. Sorry, I butchered your name.
I'm not sure if you have something like it in the making.
I don't think so.
But I take control. We never played live much.
No.
But concentrate always worked really well. So we could kind of do a follow-up on that one. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, so Stefano, there's not yet, but probably coming soon.
Yeah.
Jerry Music wants to know, which VSTs do you use to for your sound, and why? I guess. Well, I'll take this question and Jerry, because when I listen to your records, the low end is just ridiculous. Like the way that everything just hits in. So what's the secret behind the bass and the low end in your productions?
It's layering.
Layering, yeah.
So you know what we have, like, we made a couple kicks like a long time ago, and then we kind of use these low ends of these kicks.
Yeah.
And I mean, for some kicks, you just know they work really well in specific keys, and then when you just add a different top kick, it gets a different vibe. But still, you know that the low end of the kick works really well.
So you use the mid and low or something, or just a low of a kick drum for every
example,
time, and then a different top kick on top.
Yeah, because the Text Me kick always slaps really hard live, so we know that. So, but if we want to make another track, you don't want to have the exact same kick.
It's gonna phase.
We just make a different top kick on it, and then has a different vibe.
Yeah.
But for VSTs, I think there's one we always use. And a lot of people would say, yeah, you cannot use this or whatever, but it's Nexus, and it works wonders.
Yeah, it's a good synth, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question, Jerry. K Dudek 90925 wants to know: do you like collaborating more or making music by yourself?
We both love it. We love collaborating. We have some few collabs coming up.
So what's coming up? Share some beans.
I'm not sure if
no one's listening, so
we can not say everything.
At least once.
You separate, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we already know that. We just want to have another one.
Well, he's also within Rootfield.
Yeah,
and you can.
Okay, so Mark Sixma.
No.
The Rocket Man.
No.
Medics.
No.
Who else? Casey.
No. Case.
Sorry.
Not Case.
AVAO.
Yeah.
Who else is on Revealed? Dr. Funk?
No, I think we're gonna work with him soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I ran out of ideas, so just help me out a little bit.
I think people back home, they would probably feel like, yeah, there's one guy you forgot.
Okay. Well, if you know it, write it down in the comments, because these guys are being jerks and not telling me anything. So
yeah.
You have one more moment to tell it.
I'll let you know after the.
Okay, I'll write it down in the comments here as well. Elena69 Luca wants to know: do you have a plan to create an album in the future?
Not yet.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, I mean, so the music we make, we want to play on the dance floor.
Yeah,
and if
it's music made for your sets, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And if you want to do an album, you gotta also create songs that would not necessarily fit on the dance floor. So I feel like right now we prioritize making like bangers that get support to get your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure one day we will sit down and have a idea for an album, and it is something I want to do. But for now, not so much.
Do you both have like ambitions to end up in the pop music scene as well, on guitar or piano, or just writing songs?
I mean,
long pause.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do it, to write pop songs. We kind of do sometimes for other people, but I don't have the ambition to.
Not for ourselves.
No.
So maybe in the future for some other artists that you just write songs and
we do. No. We have also, we're working on one with Ben Nicky, which is way more poppy than anything we've ever made. We just like to explore, but it's not like we need to have like a.
Just because you have so much freedom to do whatever you want to do anyway, so you just do it as well.
But also, for example, with the new Calvin Harris tunes, they're quite trancy, but they hit the
one with Sam Smith is like proper Let's Go Milk Inc.
Yeah, exactly. But also Miracle, and it's it hits the charts, but it's also still trancy. So there's room for anything.
That's true. So we're gonna see like a poppy song with Ben Nicky in that kind of sound in the charts soon, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah.
That would be very nice. Okay, Ramin Shiaza wants to know: most of your tracks are still not released. Why? Most of the songs that you play in your sets, I guess that what he means.
We make too many tracks. I think.
How many % of the tracks that you play in your sets is unreleased still, and that will never be able? Maybe it won't even be released.
I think most of them will be released
eventually.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's like 40% is not released.
Yeah,
40% is our own tracks, and then 20% is other people.
Don't you have the danger then that some of those tunes you already get tired of them, so you won't release them anymore?
I mean, if you get tired of them, then you kind of know it shouldn't be a release, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you still play them in your sets.
Yeah, but so some tracks you play, maybe you've had that too, that you've played it twice, 3 times.
It doesn't work.
You're like,
yeah,
not this time. Then you know it's might
never happened to me. No, I'm just kidding.
I only make 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, so you can have. You can have tracks that you play for a bit and then feel like, okay, I don't want to play it live anymore.
Yeah.
And then you kind of know, okay, this is maybe not.
Then it's not good
enough.
enough. Yeah.
But I remember this story that I think it was Marlo. He made The Dark Side and he didn't want to release it, and then you kind of pushed him to release it. For me, it's one of my favorite tracks still. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing those. I was still A&Ring at Armada back then when Marlo was in, and there was like some key things, and I was happy he was actually listening to the feedback that I gave him. So. Yeah. Happy that he took those in. So, and also I forgot which track it was. Like there was a certain percussion thing that I was like, hey, you have to try that, and then it worked out really well. Proud moments for myself as an A&R back then. So I think Marlo still remembers what it was. Well, and thank you for answering all these questions, boys. If you have any last words that you want to share with the listeners at the end, if they're still here.
We're just thankful for everybody supporting us, and to be doing what we do, and we appreciate it. So thank you.
Okay, well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to the State of Trance podcast. Next time we're going to be back with Artie in here. So if you have any questions, leave them here in the comment section or send them as a DM. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Check all previous episodes on YouTube or your favorite podcast portal. A State of Trance podcast.